Welcome to the Realtor Diaries episode 10. My name's Elijah McGowan with the Depa Team at Century 21. With me as always,
Kim Jacoby with the Depa Team of Century 21. We are your go-to Northern California realtors. And today's topic is the family business.
Yes, we'll be talking with Kim, hearing how her family has gone through her entire career as a real estate agent. And then we'll have a special guest on.
Yeah.
And so my family isn't very real estate connected really in any way.
Yeah. Like you don't have any realtors or title officers or lenders or anything like that in your family?
I think my father did some commercial real estate, but my family's from Mississippi and Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
So that was long ago,
Yeah.
forgotten history.
Yeah.
But that's your whole family right now.
My husband and I have been doing real estate together since 2015.
Do you know your combined years in real estate?
No, but we could figure out the math. He started in 2011, so that's 14.
14.
And then I started in 2014, so that's 11, so 25 years combined.
25. A team of 26 years cumulative experience.
Yes.
But since she's got the whole family business going on,
Yes.
this will be more of an interview style episode.
Yes. Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
And I don't know what he's going to ask me, so this is all, you're hearing this live.
I told you no preparation
Right.
allowed. I mean, it's easy to start. How did you guys meet and then decide? Start from the beginning. Were you both realtors when you met?
No.
No? Okay.
No. Emmett was my realtor.
Really?
When I, first knew he was a human being.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I mean? On this
Yeah.
planet. So, yeah. And then it just so happened that I had been interested in real estate, the last few years. And, but the timing was wrong for me at the time.
Okay.
And so then, and I had already interviewed at brokerages and stuff before I even met Emmett.
Gotcha. It just happened.
Yeah.
It just happened that way.
Yeah. Well, the story is kind of crazy. I had interviewed at 3 different brokerages in Chico, and I really liked Doug Love over at Century 21, the office manager over there.
Yeah.
Just was really impressed with him, and I liked the vibe. And so in my mind, I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this real estate thing, I want to work at Century 21.
Yeah.
But like I said, the timing wasn't right. I was in my first marriage, and so then my first husband and I had decided we wanted to buy an income property.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're like, we don't know any realtors. So we went back to Doug, because I had just kind of met him through that interview, and we asked Doug for a recommendation.
Really?
For a realtor.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so he's like, I got the perfect guy for you. He's going to do a great job. And yeah, Doug sounds just like that, right? No.
It'd be kind of.
Yeah. So then that's how I got to know Emmett, was he was our realtor. And we did end up buying a condo. But then after that, personal life, this is not this podcast, but my marriage didn't work out.
Yeah.
And and then I began working at Century 21, and then Emmett and I just kind of, started dating, and then 2 years after we began dating, we formed a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. That's amazing.
And then 2 years after we formed a team, we got married.
Okay, so it was dating, then team, and then you guys got married.
Yeah.
That's really cute. And so you met him. He was your realtor.
Yeah.
Then you were pre.
Scandalous.
I know, right? But you were almost primed to get into real estate already.
Yeah.
It was
in my brain. Yeah. It just, the timing wasn't right. Because of just some things with my first marriage.
Mm-hmm. And so he had already had a little bit of experience in real estate.
Yep.
Then you became a realtor. You guys started dating. And then teamed up, got married.
That's right.
And so do you feel like you guys have any advantages over solo agents in general? I mean, I know a little bit about this already, but what kind of advantages do you guys think you gained by working together so closely?
I think we do have some advantages. One being that, you know how when you're really busy, you wish you could clone yourself. It kind of feels that way.
Okay.
Having your spouse be a realtor with you, because all the money comes to the same household, you know? And so, and that's where it's like, with he and I on a team, every penny we make goes to our same family. With you on our team, like, you keep some for your family, and then we keep some for our family. So their advantage with the husband-wife team is that it all goes to the same family.
Yeah.
And so you almost feel like there's like you have a clone of yourself.
Yeah, that's interesting because I mean, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting because you've told a story on the podcast before where you two were actually on the same transaction.
Yes.
And how that caused maybe some friction and stress, but that was like a specific circumstance.
That's right.
Does that happen often?
Oh, no.
No, that was like really...
We've been in an escrow together where he's representing one side and I'm representing the other side. In 10 years, probably only twice.
Oh, including the one that you told.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was episode 6.
Yeah.
Something like that. Wow.
And honestly, after that one that I told in episode 6, or whatever episode that was, I don't think we'll ever do that again.
Really?
Yeah. I think it'll be like, he's going to represent one side, and then you'll represent the other side. Yeah,
you'll pass it to me instead.
Yeah, because it was very... It puts us in a sticky situation, too. Because then the buyer and the seller think that he and I are colluding together.
Oh,
because they're like, there's no way... Like, even if he's on the phone, they're like, where's Kim? Is she in the vicinity? Can she hear what you're saying?
Oh, because they just assume you're so close together.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And then, are there parts of your relationship that have ended up feeling like a business?
That's an interesting question.
I know. Because I know you guys jointly own some property outside of your home.
Yeah, well, we did.
Oh, okay.
We did. We sold it in 2024, just a few months ago.
Yeah.
But, yeah, parts of our lives that feel like a business. I mean, it's interesting when you're, sitting down with your significant other and you are talking about money, right?
Yeah.
So for us, that conversation is groceries, bills, all that, plus business.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's one and the same.
Okay, gotcha. So it's not like separated, regimented. It's like, no, this is just part of our lives.
Well, we do have a business account and a personal account. And we kind of have we track separately and have, well, I don't even know if we have a budget. But
especially for taxes.
Yes. Yeah. But whenever we talk about money, it is always lumped together.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
And okay, so next I prepped some rapid fire questions.
Oh boy, okay.
So these you can take as long as you want. We're not going to time you or anything. First off, I'm never doing this. But
you want me to try to answer them quickly?
Yes. Okay. Ready?
Yes.
Number 1. Who in your relationship is the person who's like, okay, let's try this new risky thing, or is the voice of caution?
I'm the risky one. Emmett's caution.
We might come back to that. Best professional advice your husband has ever given you?
Ooh, he gives me a lot of really good advice.
Ooh, tough one.
Yeah, I think the one thing that came to mind right away is it's more of encouragement rather than advice.
Okay.
He is constantly encouraging me, telling me, you're a great realtor. I think that is also an advantage of being in the business with your spouse, because when you're alone, you're kind of second guess yourself and you have doubts.
Yeah.
But then you have a spouse right next to you who knows the job and sees you doing it and can give you that.
It's like, you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, gold star.
Yes.
It's nice.
Awesome. One word to describe your teamwork dynamic.
Open.
Yeah.
Open. In communication and everything.
That's also how you guys really conduct business. It's like,
just
communicate,
that's
get it
right.
done.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. When it gets really busy, how do you guys like cool down?
That's challenging.
Do you do yoga? Are you a Netflix enjoyer?
Yeah, no. When life gets a little crazy, it's hard to make time for each other and to cool down, And so generally what we will do is we try to do this anyways, even when life isn't super busy, but we just try to make sure that we're sitting down every single night at the dinner table together and with our kids.
Yeah.
And then we try to turn things off, like work-wise, around 6 p.m. Like there's no like hard and fast rule, but it's like the evenings, that's for family time.
Okay.
And each other time. And sometimes we have to work in the evening or, on weekends. But we try to save those times for family.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you got a good work-life balance. That's the goal. That's how you wind down, is by having that.
That's right.
All right. Next up. So how much time do you guys spend like actually working together as opposed to working like just on your own, kind of maybe on your business?
Yeah. That's a good question. I think there's a lot of different ways to organize your business when you're a married couple.
Mm-hmm.
Emmett and I, we tried several different ways in the beginning. One way was he was the listing specialist and I was the buyer specialist.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't work out because sometimes he would connect with a potential buyer and it was awkward to pass it off to me.
I can imagine.
Yeah. And then we tried where we didn't do this very much, but where we would kind of both of us worked with every client together, and that didn't work because it almost takes away the advantage of being two people.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, so...
It was like less dynamic when you tried to do that?
Yeah, well, it's like, it's better to conquer and divide and conquer.
Yes.
So what we do is he works with his clients and I work with my clients. And, what was the question?
I mean, you answered it.
I did.
It was.
Okay.
Do you guys work like more? Like, do you work together or do you work on your own business?
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No, there's many days where we don't even barely see each other till in the evening.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
What next? Okay, how do you guys celebrate after a big win?
Usually a high five.
Yeah, solid high five.
Yeah, high five. Yeah. Or like even on certain really big wins, like when he sold the Matador Motel.
Yeah.
I think we might have gone out to dinner for that one.
Good.
Yeah.
That was a deserved one.
Right.
All right. This is the last question. It's pretty open-ended, but as a team, what is something that you guys feel like you have and that you can do that just isn't something other agents can replicate?
I think like having someone that you're that close with, your spouse, Emmett and I's relationship, we really are best friends and we are very simpatico, meaning like we think similarly.
Okay, yeah.
And so it's the phrase, two heads are better than one, and so when we're discussing things or trying to problem solve or whatever, I think that we come out ahead because we have each other to bounce off of.
And I can imagine, especially just because, openness is how you described it.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we know everything that's going on.
Yeah.
To the extent that, you guys are very professional.
Yeah.
But, you tell each other, like, what's needed, what needs to be said, and then it bounces off and it comes out in a really good light.
And I think because we're so open, that's why we kind of decided, like, okay, maybe not, we shouldn't, like, he represent the seller and I represent the buyer.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to keep secrets from each other. Like, we don't like it. We're just so open. We don't like having block there to not be able to talk about everything.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Well, Kim, this is a very you-heavy episode.
Yes.
But we've heard from the wife of the husband and wife team, and I think we're going to hear next from the child of a realtor.
That's right. Yeah, what's it like to be raised by a busy realtor?
Let's hear from them.
I would like to welcome our special guest. We have here with us today Matt Depa with the Depa Team and Remax.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Really appreciate being here.
Yeah. And so Matt has been in real estate himself 16 years. He is an avid golfer, and favorite ice cream flavor is cookies and cream.
Yep.
Which is that's a good flavor.
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
I like sherbets.
Okay.
Sherbets.
Okay, yeah. And Kim?
Not sweet enough. I like cookies and cream,
Perfect.
and then chocolate and peanut butter.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, lots of
Okay.
sugar. The more sugar,
Yeah.
the better. So, Matt.
Today's topic
Yeah.
is the family business.
Okay.
It's like,
I know a little bit about that.
Yeah.
and so earlier, I actually have like almost no family connection to real estate.
Okay.
Like I'm fresh faced to all of this whole world.
Okay.
And earlier I interviewed Kim,
Mm-hmm.
and she laid out like the husband and wife team.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd bring someone on whose whole family,
Sure.
or at least.
Yeah, no, my whole family actually has been involved in real estate in some form or the other. My dad and mom started out in property management. My mom stayed in property management. My dad kind of divulged off to real estate. So I started having property management at probably 10 years old, doing turnovers in the summertime and trash outs. And when the dumpsters got too full, I was the one that got to go, jump in there and smash everything down and all that good stuff like that. And I think it prepared me for real estate in some ways when you're doing the turnovers and the garbage cans and what you see. So when you walk into some of these college properties, it doesn't faze me at all anymore.
Okay, there you go.
So
you were jaded to it very early.
Absolutely.
So you're like 10-year-old and you're in there helping your parents throw stuff away.
Throw stuff away.
Left behind.
Yep. Paint, trash out, mow the lawns, pick weeds, you name it. I was doing it from probably 10 to 16, and then finally I got a real job in the mall, and I didn't have to do that anymore.
Yeah. Now, did they pay you?
I got paid in water and lunch, and every once in a while they buy me the video game I wanted for my Nintendo as my reward. But no, I was not paid really that much at all.
Man.
That's the hallmark of family business.
Yeah.
The kids work and they get what they get.
Yep. I think it was, I got to have the roof over my head, which I was grateful for. And, I got that sub sandwich from a Ray's Liquor across the street that I wanted. And the bottle of the red Gatorade.
There you go.
But definitely realized, from early on, I didn't want to be involved in property management. That's a very thankless business, and the people that are in that, I give them a lot of props, a lot of respect, because no matter what you do, you're always wrong and nobody's happy, and no matter what you're doing right there. So I kind of peered off and started realizing, about probably 25 or so, 26, real estate was probably the way to go, and started taking my classes and shadowing my dad.
Yeah.
And it all kind of went from there. And so, like Kim said, I've been this for 16 years now. We do a little bit of everything here in town, and I love real estate. It's fun. It's a challenge. Every day is different.
Yeah.
As you guys know there. I love, the numbers for the apartments. I love helping that first time home buyer, like you guys, I'm sure totally understand there. And it's been great. It's amazing.
Yeah. And you still work with your dad today?
I do. I still work with my dad today. I do a little bit more of it now. He's kind of getting to that part where he's going to start traveling a little bit more and enjoying the fruits of his labor, which is
awesome.
Good for him. And so I'm kind of taking the reins a little bit more there from him. But yeah, we still work together. I can still bounce ideas off of his head, and whatever we need to get done, we get it done.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And so do you feel like you have like a huge advantage over like many people because you have a huge experienced figure always like as your foundation, always behind your back.
Yeah, no, definitely. That was definitely very helpful coming into the business because he's been doing it now for 45 years.
Yeah.
And so, it's nice because he's experienced everything, so if I brought something to his attention, he was like, oh yeah, I've dealt with that before. Here's how you fix it.
Yeah.
To where, if I didn't have that, it'd be either me talking to myself or trying to find a mentor, out there that would help me get through that situation. So that was definitely key, having his foundation to help me, continue to grow, teach me and, just kind of get those experiences.
I can imagine, because I've sat in with some of the old hats, usually I call them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, anything I tell them, they're like, oh yeah, this happened this time, and once upon a time, this is how it was, and it's changed, and it's probably a good thing that it changed.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, wow.
And there's nothing that catches them off guard. They've seen it all. Even when you think like, I've got something that's going to stump them.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
Nothing's too crazy. Now, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
If you were to say, like, what are the top 3 things that you've learned from your dad in real estate? What would those top 3 things be?
Oh, boy. Number 1, obviously, follow up. That's always the important thing there. Number 2, never be afraid to tell somebody you don't know something. Go find the answer.
Yeah.
Don't make it up. I still tell people to this day, I don't know something, let me get back to you. I'd rather have that, because our integrity, as you guys know, in this business is all we have.
For sure.
Sure.
And the third is always just keep learning. Even when you think you've learned it all, go learn something else, because there's something else out there that you can learn and continue to grow to help yourself and help your clients.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very good.
So, do you have any of those like stories from your dad, or like even yourself, like something that you brought to him and he just almost went up to you? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, no, we let's see here. We had a property we were selling a few years ago that the crazy brother showed up on the day we were supposed to close and started remodeling the kitchen himself.
Oh no!
And by remodeling, I mean he started taking out the cabinets, he started taking apart the countertops, because he felt that his family owed him money, and so he was going to keep tearing it apart until the brother called him that was in charge of the estate and said, "You need to give me this much money, or I'm going to keep demolishing this property."
Oh my
What?
gosh.
So we had to end up giving the buyer a little bit more money off there at the end.
Because he ruined the kitchen?
Yeah, because he ruined the kitchen.
Jeez.
What? Just out of nowhere.
Just out of nowhere, yeah. He came from, nobody had heard from him in probably 7 years.
Oh my gosh.
And he showed up the day of close.
Oh, I wonder how he found out.
He had a buddy that was kind of around in the area that kind of was living there and kind of gave him the heads up.
Like,
what was going on.
selling this thing.
Yeah, and so the fact that he knew when close day was interesting. But yeah, there was that one, and my dad said, "That's nothing." I've had people go and start remodeling houses they didn't own yet, ripping out carpet and paint, and it's like,
like buyers.
During escrow,
They're like, we're buying it. Might as well.
Yeah, might as well start. And it's like, what are you doing?
Right.
You don't own it
yet. Deal yet. You don't have the keys.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. When you interviewed me, you asked me like a couple of questions where you have to think quick, answer quick.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if we can think of a couple of those that you said to me. So which one, you or your dad, is the most likely to be the bad cop in a good cop, bad cop scenario?
Oh, my dad. 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, absolutely. He's got more experience than that. I'm the big softy. I'm the teddy bear.
I'm
the pushover.
And how about, like, which one of you is more organized?
Oh, definitely me.
Yeah.
My dad, he still walks around with the yellow notepad.
Nice.
And, his briefcase, and, it could be sitting right here, and he's wondering, where's my yellow notepad at?
Yeah.
And it's like, that yellow notepad, or the yellow notepad over there, or over there, or over there, which one are you looking for?
It's like the one with the crinkle in the top right.
Yeah.
That's like this.
And then I got another one. What's the longest you've ever not talked to your dad?
Oh, I think that's a good one. I think we probably went. Does it vacation count?
Vacation
counts. Okay, vacation. All right, then it was definitely 3 weeks last year when he was gone in Europe. I didn't bug him.
Oh.
And he didn't bug me. I told him not to. I said
3 weeks.
Yeah, I said, you're in Europe. You go have fun. You don't need to worry about what's going on here.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some, like father-son or father-daughter, where sometimes, you grow up, you move away, you don't talk to your dad for months. Months, but yours like 3 weeks is the longest.
Yeah, well, I mean, I see him pretty much 5 days a week, so it's kind of weird. But yeah, it was kind of weird walking in the office, and I went to his office one day to ask him something. I'm like, oh yeah, he's not here.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But how's that separation between like personal and professional life, or is it just like so important?
No, we definitely have a separation there. We don't want to, whenever we see each other, always be talking about work or whatnot. Because it's where go to family dinner, and it's like, about that day at work, and it's like, come on, let's just take a little bit of a break.
We were both there. We know what's happening.
So no, we kind of, when we walk out the door, we kind of the agreement, we leave it there at the office, and we pick it up the next day.
Oh, that's awesome.
There's no sense, unless it's an emergency, we have to have it, solved right then and there. We figure wait till the next day.
Yeah, but so you guys like leave it at the office.
Yeah,
that's kind of your deal. That's
awesome.
Awesome.
Absolutely. because we would be at each other's throat if we didn't. We might not be the team. We might not be the team. Had to go our separate ways.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah. And then you've come full circle now. Now
Yeah.
you have your stepson that has
Yeah.
joined your team.
Yeah, my stepson joined my team 4 months ago. His name's Tyler, and he's learning the ways. He's working as a buyer's agent right now, and just kind of learning all the forms as well, and learning what it takes to get an escrow going, get a listing, get a buyer, and everything it takes to have a successful close.
Yeah, I know that story.
That's so cool. And so now you're passing down your knowledge to him, and then of course Grandpa Depa.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
passing down that knowledge too.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
today.
No, thank you. I really appreciate you guys having me. Very good being here. Thank you so much.
Matt.
Appreciate it. Look forward to seeing everybody again at tour and seeing this live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Off to the news.
And now it's time for the news.
Yep. Today's topic, of course, is the family business. You've heard from Kim. You've heard from Mr. Matt.
Depa. Yes, and so in our news segment today, I'm going to start us off with, if you are thinking of getting into business with your spouse or
Yes.
significant other, or just a partner in general, I have 5 clauses that every partnership agreement should include. Now, of course, my disclaimer here is I'm not a lawyer, and you should always create any contract and consult with a lawyer and who is an expert in the field that you're writing that contract in.
My first question is, do you think this pretty much applies to any business?
I think any partnership, really.
Okay.
These are very general clauses, and I have to say that Emmett and I did write a partnership contract together, and that includes basically all 5 of these clauses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Revealing a little bit of light.
Yeah, so they weren't as legalese as these terms here, but it's important. And actually, we did that on the suggestion that Doug Love gave us. He said that we should really do that.
So this is kind of like a distillation of it?
Yeah, so this is 5 clauses that every partnership agreement should include. Number 1, capital contributions. So your partnership agreement should explicitly state what contributions each partner will make to the partnership and the percentage of ownership interest that they will each take.
And I assume that's like you decide together
Yeah.
what to do, because
Yeah.
every situation will be different.
Exactly. So cash is the most typical contribution, but
Yeah.
property, securities, assets, and even certain skills can also be listed as valid business contributions.
Okay.
Number 2, your duties as partners. One of the drawbacks of a partnership is there's no one in charge.
True.
And so you need to very specifically lay out what your duties are going to be, because this will just help, what is the phrase I'm looking for? The resentment. It will help avoid resentment
Yes.
if you lay out, the expectations of each person and have agreement on that.
Clear expectations.
That's right.
It's like,
Yeah.
this is what you do, this is what I do. If you need help, come ask.
Yeah, that's right. Number 3, sharing and assignment of profits and loss. So allocation that is proportionate to each partner's ownership percentage is a popular way to allocate and distribute profits and losses. So if you're 50-50, then you're going to split the profits and you're going to split the losses. If you dissolve the business in debt, you're going to split the debt. The agreement should also specify whether partners will be able to take a regular draw, like from their profits, each year. Or being married to my business partner, it's just like we just keep the business money in the business checking, and so we didn't really have a thing that laid out taking draws.
I gotcha.
In our
It's
contract.
kind of like you need both signatures deal.
Right. No, that one we just that's our budget talk that we have once a week.
There you go. So that one, like you guys, could be an ongoing basis.
Yeah.
It's like
Right.
we will regularly, maybe not, you don't have to say we're going to meet every month to do it, but any allocations will be discussed and put in writing or whatever we do it.
Right. Number 4, acceptance of liabilities. So depending on the type of partnership that you're entering into, each partner may or may not be held personally liable for the business operations. So this can expose the partner's personal assets should the business become indebted and insolvent. It's an essential element to consider when you're forming your partnership.
Yeah, and that is something that I don't even feel qualified to talk about.
Yeah.
It's like, talk to a lawyer about that.
That's right. Yeah.
Because they will know much better how to protect the assets that you are putting forth.
Yeah, and there's of course different kinds of ways other than partnerships that you could create your business, a corporation, a limited liability corporation, things like that. The last clause that every partnership agreement should include is the dispute resolution. And so, as with most business ventures, you should expect to have a heated disagreement or two with your business partner over the years.
Yes.
So you should have a clause in your agreement that spells out how deadlock disputes will be dealt with. For example, instead of allowing the partners to go to court, you could require arbitration or mediation is used first.
Yeah.
And then, of course, for Emmett and I, for a married couple partnership, we had a clause in there that talked about what if our marriage were to end.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so how would we split the clients or things like that. So it was an uncomfortable topic to talk about, but important.
Yes. So. All these are very important things to talk about with any business partner.
That's right. And you have some very interesting statistics for us that I had no idea about.
So family businesses, there's a lot of them apparently, but when I think of a family business, I usually think of, I think of a local business when I think of a family business.
Yeah.
But a family business is anything where one family owns the controlling share, stake in the overall business.
Right.
So in the United States, and this is from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce this year, almost 60% of our GDP and around 63% of our workforce is contained within family businesses.
That's huge.
But that includes big names like Walmart, BMW, food places like Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out, and Estee Lauder. So
That's right.
They're those are just 5, but there's a whole huge list.
Oh yeah.
I think even, another motor, Toyota Motors.
Ford, also.
All with family control, family level, family owned controlling stakes. That's what it is.
Yeah, but In-N-Out is interesting because it's not a franchise.
Yes.
It's a family owned business.
Sorry to bother you. My coat was hanging up there and it has my car keys in it.
I put it on the back of Michelle's chair.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Hey.
Did you pause it or stop it?
I stopped it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but In-N-Out is interesting because we can start right there and I can say that over again.
Yeah, I'm gonna start the recording here.
Okay.
Let me see what was here. Okay, perfect. It's just silence.
Okay. Yeah, so In-N-Out is interesting because it's not a franchise, and you were telling me some stuff about how the family owns it.
I know. So they, of course, own a controlling stake, like a lot of these other family businesses. Right. But also, they still have the same menu they had when their burgers were 15 cents a burger.
Crazy.
They still have of course, there's a lot of from their advertisements and their statements, but try to use local sources and high quality beef and non-frozen, that kind of thing.
Yes.
But they seem to have pretty good business practices and still being this huge over 400 location food business across the U.S. that's mostly family owned and operated.
Yeah, so they have some of the family members run certain restaurants.
Yep, segments of their...
Or have maybe an area they're in charge of.
Yeah.
And then the corporation, they probably have tons of family on the board. And
yeah, it's crazy how they have their thing.
That's cool. I wonder if it's Aunt Jimmy.
Uncle
Jimmy and Aunt Susan and Cousin Bob, and if it's that kind of family run business.
I know. It'd be interesting to find out, but that's what I got for you today.
Well, thank you for tuning in to episode 10, The Family Business. We will catch you next time.
Oh yeah.